Entrepreneurs, we back with another segment of the Make It Count podcast here at Asylum Studios. I am Robert Jones, Mr. Make It Count. We here with Painted Swag, and she definitely got on a custom piece that she made here today. But let the people know who you are a little bit.
So I am a designer and a stylist. I design for the mayor of Miami Gardens, a couple of city officials, the chief of police. I have other clientele, football players. Anything design-wise, I make custom suits, custom dresses, custom shoes.
Now, don't sell yourself short. Now, you more than a designer. Come on, like, tell people what's the real. What all you got going on besides just designing? What is Painted Swag as a whole?
So Painted Swag is the brand that I created to pretty much show people that they could believe in God and they could still have swag.
Okay.
You could have that belief to be a better person, feel good, and still have swag in the process. I also put on a production with my mom, Frosty's Flavor Magazine, where it's a fashion show. The last fashion show we just had was this past January. We raised money for cancer patients. It's called A Painted Evolution, and it's sponsored by the city of Miami Gardens and the mayor of Miami Gardens. And we just pretty much put on a production where we allow people to grace our stage. And this year was a lot different than the other years, but we raised money for the cancer patients, and we just helped them pay their bills, and all the proceeds go to them.
So I know that you make your clothes. How did you actually get started in designing? Like, how did that come about?
So I've had my brand for about 6 years. Well, we 2018, so it's about 7 years now.
7 years?
Yeah, 7 years. I started the
like
first 3 years.
About 20 years old. 7 years. I mean, you started like when you was 12.
No, I'm 26, and so it all started because I was like, my mom. You know my mom. She is. You gotta be something in life.
Your mom. She's dope. I love the magazine and what she's doing.
Yeah, she's like definitely a force to reckon with. She's definitely my biggest cheerleader, my motivator. But I knew that from 18 that I wanted to do something with my life. I've done theater all my life, and then I graduated, wanted to do something different. I've done hair, I've done nails, I've done a lot. Anything that allows me to be artistic and creative, I've pretty much dabbled in.
So you dressing people from head to toe then?
Oh yeah, I can give you the works now.
That's what's up.
Now, I might bring in a makeup artist because I ain't that girly. But if you want something basic, I got you. But at the age of 18, I said I wanted to have my own business by the time I turned 21. I didn't know what kind of business I wanted.
Okay.
I just kind of fell into it, and then I ended up having my own business at the age of 20. But for the first 3 years of being a designer, I hand stitch everything.
You How did you learn how to do that?
Just visualized it.
Visualize. Wow.
I saw things that I wanted to make, and I found my own way to make it. And
that's creative.
Yeah, I started making kids' clothes. I was hand stitching everything, and then I met a few friends of mine, and I was like, you know what? They were telling me you need to do this a different way, and I was like, you know what? You're right. And they were telling me how to use a sewing machine, and I was just so amazed. And I went on YouTube and I learned how to use the sewing machine.
Wait, so you learned how to use a sewing machine from YouTube?
Yeah. I learned how to sew on YouTube. So
people that say that, oh, I can't do this because I don't have money, or I can't take a sewing class because they just making excuses.
I'm not gonna lie. I took a sewing class because I felt like it was gonna make me a better person. Mm-hmm. It was gonna make me a better designer. I paid my $40, and I went for three Wednesdays, and I learned absolutely nothing. I don't know how to read patterns. That's like one of the things I struggle with the most. I make my own patterns.
So you like the dude from Drumline. He can't read music, but he can play all the instruments and all of that stuff.
That's exactly how I was, even in music. I couldn't read. I didn't learn. I was doing theater 4th grade, and I didn't learn how to read music until I was in the 12th grade.
So where would you say you got your creativity from, just to visualize something and be able to sew? Like, how did that come about?
I guess it came from God because, I mean, my mom, she is super fancy. My brother, he draws and stuff like that. And just from when I was younger, like my mom would buy me clothes, like name brand clothes, expensive clothes, and I would just draw on it.
Wow. I
would draw things and I would go and get paint, and she was like, you got one more piece of if you draw on one more thing, I'm going to kill you. And I don't know, like I've literally done everything. And she supported me through it. So it kind of allowed me to just do so many things to the point to where I got to knowing what it was that I wanted to do in particular.
So you turning 18, it started to become a business for you, right?
18, I said I was going to have a business. I didn't know what it was going to be.
Okay.
But at the age of 20.
At the 20. So when did you start actually believing in yourself that, okay, I can start charging for my designs?
That didn't actually come along until my mom forced me into creating it into a business.
Okay.
Because when I first started doing it, I was just making like little clothes for, baby showers as gifts for like my friends and things like that. And then, within the first 3 years, my mom was just, and not even 3 years, 2 years, she was like, you need to start charging. I was like, I don't want to charge. I just want to make stuff just because I like to make stuff.
Yeah.
And then after a while, my mom started to see that I was serious about it because I had done so many things and never really stuck to one thing. And then she was like, you need to turn this into a business. And we argued for like 6 months. And I was just like, I'm forced into doing something that I don't want to do. You're taking the fun out of it. And then that's just kind of like how I just transitioned into making it a business. People were just like, can you make this for me? I will pay you. I didn't even have to ask for it. People were just begging me. They're telling me they'll pay me.
Wow. So when did you start realizing, like, okay, besides your mom forcing you to turn it into a business, when did you start realizing, like, dang, I'm pretty good at, making these dresses and these suits and stuff?
I don't think I've reached that point. Like, I feel like I'm probably my biggest critic. I'm always saying, oh, my mom, like, she's my biggest cheerleader. So I feel like she always has to tell me something is amazing. So everything I make, I'm like, I don't like it. I feel like it could have been this so I don't feel like I am 100% about that, but I am confident to know that I can execute anything.
So you're a perfectionist. So that probably makes your designs a little bit more better.
Yeah. I specialize in perfecting everything I touch. I feel like everything we touch, it should turn into gold.
So let's just say someone came to you and they, this is probably a little bit off topic, but they don't have the money for a custom design. How else would you, Painted Swag could help them out?
Well, I'm also a stylist, so I have something for everyone. If you can't afford something custom, then I can always pull from I wouldn't say another designer, but another designer, like a store in particular. I have those relationships, but also too, if you can't afford that, then I do also go to thrift stores. I'll pull things and I will customize it to fit your personality.
So you real creative. This a lot of stuff I'm learning right now. That's dope. I thought you just really only just made clothes. And to be honest, I'm not gonna lie to you. I came to the fashion show and I saw the mayor coming out in the suits, and I was like, "There's no way she made that. It's impossible that she sold that." Like,
it took me like 3 months, but I made an entire 7-piece collection for him. And what you guys did not see is I also made another 7-piece jacket collection for him. That it was just tuxedo jackets that he actually didn't come out in those because that was just for like his special occasions.
Okay.
And we have a few things in the work where he wants to perfect this because it's a lot of things that I wasn't able to execute because I needed to, of course, execute my line as well because my line meant so much to me.
Okay. So what does your line consist of?
So mine is kind of like mixing couture and urban
I'm sorry,
and
I don't
street.
know what couture
is like like gowns and things that you would find at the Met Gala. But like I am a girl.
So like those summer dresses that making girls.
Summer dresses, no.
No? Oh, okay.
No, I'm all about merging elegance and urban.
Okay.
So I'm a girl, but I'm not really girly girl. So a lot of times you'll see me in like boy clothes. I have on a jersey, but I might wear it with some heels. So I would take a gown and put it on with like a custom motorcycle jacket or something like that. And for me, that's me. Or I might wear a gown with sneakers.
Okay.
Which I did that at the Red Dress.
So with
event.
us being in the culture of, the young entrepreneur online, how are you doing online?
So my business, I didn't actually open my store as of yet online because I have so many custom orders. I'm trying to perfect making things in small, medium, and large. Of course, I don't read patterns, so I create my own patterns. And what I don't want to do is take a custom small, medium, and large pattern and take my brand to that. Because a lot of the times, like you'll go to stores like Hollister, small, medium, and large. A black person that's shapely can't wear that. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So I'm trying to take my time to do that so I can put those orders in to say, okay, well, this is a regular small, medium, and large. It's not a suit. You don't have to have, small. You don't have to be small up here, or you can be shapely and still wear my clothes.
So it's safe to say that you're a millennium business owner because you started in, what you said, when you was 20 years old. So how do you balance, the world of social media with everybody want to be so popular, where popularity beats talent right now?
So I balance because I don't really spend a lot of my time on social media.
Okay.
My mom is actually my PR. She markets me.
Dang, everybody need a mama like
Yeah.
you. Dang, she
My
want
mom
to be
is.
my mama?
She's that. When I'm sleeping, she's up. So she's up 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning promoting me, putting me out there. And I definitely appreciate that because half the things that I do, I don't even remember to take pictures or post them.
Okay.
So she is that person for me. But I don't spend a lot of time on social media because of the fact that I feel like when you spend so much time on social media, you're watching what other people are doing. And I feel like that distracts you from your purpose and what it is that you're supposed to do.
Okay.
So,
because I asked you that question because a lot of people around our age or younger than us, they feel that if they not popping on Instagram or Facebook, they really don't have a business, or people not clicking like, or so I'm really not making money.
well, see, that's the thing. You don't have to click like on my photo because clicking like does not put money in my pocket. That's number one. I also had a personal page about 2-3 years ago that had over 10,000 followers, 10,000, 15,000 followers. And what I did was when I created, I had 2 different pages, but I realized that it was everybody liking my personal pictures. And when I post my business pictures, you get 2-3 likes.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, you know what? If my business is my brand, I deleted that. And I didn't put anything up, follow my business page. No, I deleted that Instagram and I kept my couple hundred followers. And right now I'm at 3,000 followers?
Wait, so tell me, did I hear you correctly? You deleted a page with over 10,000 followers?
Absolutely.
Like, people would die to get that page right now.
Oh, no. Because
just for the sake of like, oh my gosh, she has 10,000 followers. She's somebody special.
No, I feel like I deleted that because I feel like the people that are on my page are genuine followers. Those are the people that genuinely care about me and my business. And I am my brand. I am my business. So if you're really following me to know what it is that I have going on, then you'll see that I'm posting things about my business. So I feel like it doesn't make any sense for people to have 2 different pages. When you go on my page, you scroll down my timeline, you see all of my business. You might see 1 or 2 pictures of myself. You might see Bible scriptures, but you're always going to see my business because that's me.
Okay. That's so amazing, like, that you can actually have that focus, in a time where, like I was telling you off air, that where people are more celebrated for who they pretend to be than who they really are. And like, so besides you being so spiritually connected, where do you get that passion to just stay focused on, I'm gonna just worry about perfecting my craft?
I would say that comes a lot from my mom because sometimes I joke around, I call her the warden, but she's not really like that. Like I'm more of the serious side. She's more of the playful side. But when it comes to business, like, she is that person to say, well, you need to go to events. You need to this. You need to go out more. And I am a homebody. Like, I can sit home and I can make clothes. I can sit at my sewing machine. I don't want to go anywhere. But she is that person to say, you need to go out. People need to see you. And she is that for me. So that forces me. And because of the fact that, like, this is something that I feel like I'm good at and I'm comfortable. I'm content with myself. I know who I am. This is what I want to do. So why not?
So I'm glad you say content. A lot of entrepreneurs will tell you don't ever get content. That's when someone could come and take your spot. Do you feel that that's possible for you? You saying you're content, you're good with the place where you're at. It may be another, young painted swag that may come out, and it's a lot of Me Too's now. They may start seeing your designs and copying everything you're doing. How would you battle with that?
I don't think so. So there's a difference between being content with knowing who you are and being content within your brand. Okay. Like, I'm content with who I am. Okay. I know who I am. I know where I'm going. I know where I want to go. So I don't have to compete with anybody. When you're content, you don't have to compete with anybody because you're in your own lane. I create my own lane. Okay. But when it comes to my business, I'm content with knowing that I'm pretty good as a designer, but I'm not content with saying that, I could just chill. I wake up every day saying, how can I do something better? Which is why I'm like my biggest critic, because when I create something, I'm like, well, it's okay, but next time I could do it like this. So I'm never going to be that person. I can't be stagnant. That's not me.
So to the young entrepreneur that want to get in fashion, what advice would you give them to, start out?
I would say be yourself, number one. Be yourself, because a lot of the times we see a lot of these celebrities, they have on like these tight dresses from all of these well-known designers. Or you'll go to a designer page and they'll put the same dress. They have 5 different dresses. They put the same dress on 20 people. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, he has this person to wear it. But when you go to that person and say, well, can you create this? They're like, oh no, but you could buy this. Because of the fact that I am myself and I'm always creating and recreating certain things, I am content enough to know that if someone comes to me and they ask me for something, I know that in my heart I can execute it. It might not be the way that, you know, a designer that went to school knows how to do it, but I can execute it enough to get the look that you want, especially for it being my first time. Then the second time I could perfect it. So I would definitely say, number 1, be yourself. Number 2, make sure that this is a passion. Because a lot of the times these designers, they come out and they're doing it because they're like, oh, fashion is a new in thing now. So they're following the trends.
Yeah.
I had to do 50 things before I decided that this is what I was going to do. And even though I realized later along the line that I've been doing this all my life, it took me 50 other things to say, okay, this is where I'm going to stop at. And if you really think about it, it's not really where I'm stopping, because I can do hair, I can do these other things, but this is where I want to be right now.
Okay. So what is the vision that you see for, let's say, Painted Swag in about 2 to 3 years?
I would say I would give myself 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
But I definitely see myself, only because I had the vision a few days ago, that I'm going to have a shop in Miami Gardens someplace. I don't know where it's going to be. I haven't even began looking for it, but I know that by the end of this year that I'm going to have my own business. But I ultimately want to have a storefront in Canada.
In Canada? Why Canada?
Because I just have like this weird thing in my mind that I feel like the Canadians, I just love Canada so much. I've never been there, but I'm like obsessed with Canada. And I just feel like having a store in Canada that allows me to charge what I'm worth, not apologize for it. Because a lot of the times with me being in Miami, people feel like they could negotiate my price. Mm-hmm. They ask you for something. They want you to make them look like Beyonce, but they only have a budget to get something off the dollar menu at McDonald's. It's like, come on, like this takes time, it takes effort. So, and also I feel like the Canadians, like they would appreciate my worth. And I just always wanted a store in Canada.
That's so dope. That's so dope. Like, I'm so glad that I'm able to sit down with you and learn the dynamics to Painted Swag after, coming to the fashion show and seeing all of the great things y'all have put together at the fashion show, even with the jackets that he came out with. It's just seeing like the evolution of, it grow, and I just can't wait to see, what you have in store and what's next. So
appreciate you for having me.
Hey, no problem. Is there anything else you want to let the people know that you have going on?
Well, I do want to take a few steps back. So the fashion show is the fashion show that both me and my mom put together, but it's not about us.
Okay.
So the whole reason for the fashion show is to raise money for cancer patients to help them pay their bills. The reason, like, cancer hits home for us on many, many different levels. But the reason why I want to make that clear is because I put on the fashion show because I don't want to just call it a fundraiser. Because if we call it a fundraiser, we all know nobody's going to show up. Nobody wants to participate. Nobody wants to donate. Nobody wants to. But if I say it's a fashion show, and because fashion is a new in thing now, people will show up because they want to see what it is that you're producing. Yeah. That's okay. Because the money that you're going to pay to show up, I'm going to use that ticket sale and I'm going to sow a seed into someone else's life. So I want to make that clear, that it's not about me. It's not about my mom. It's not about the city of Miami Gardens, even though they sponsor. It's not the mayor. Like, he is like also my biggest cheerleader. He does everything he can to promote me. Like, I just put out a whole 7-piece collection. He wears it everywhere, and he lets me know, like, okay, I'm wearing it. He tells people that, and that's what we need. But I also I want to help people. I want to start a movement where we can all help each other. It's not about gimme, gimme, gimme. What can you do for me? It's about what can I do for you? So I want to make that clear. But also, I don't know. I just want everybody to just be themselves. Like, I am so tired of seeing women in like skin tight dresses, little dresses, and showing their bodies. Like, I've never been that way. I've never been that person. And I don't understand why women feel like they need to show their bodies to show who they are.
Well, just not cut you off. I think that a lot of people think that way because of, that's what's popularized. And a lot of people feel like that's probably what they have to do to make it. So you basically, like you saying, you creating a new wave. So, it's going to be a roller coaster ride to get there. But I definitely think you prepared for it, though. Just, seeing your spirit, meeting you, and the discipline that you have. Like, I'm just so glad that I met you and that I know you. Like, that's so dope.
I just appreciate you for having me, man. Like, I don't really speak much. Like I said, I stay in my own lane, but I don't know. I just want the world to just get along and be happy and everybody just support each other. Like, why is it so hard for us to support each other? Like, I want you to be great. I want to be great. But, like, I don't see why we can't be great together. Doesn't make any sense to me. But I guess that's a generation that we live in. And stay in your own lane, because what it is that you're doing is definitely causing a movement, and everybody's going to need this.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And I appreciate you coming through, dropping gems on the young entrepreneurs. It's the Make It Count podcast. Again, we're here at Asylum Studios, All Like Minds Media.